Welcome back to the Anderson Analysis. We appreciate you tuning in, and of course join us on AM 1070 every Monday through Friday morning between 6 and 10. We take your calls and talk about things on AM 1070. Right now we are joined by Art Leal, who joins us, and Art is with the Odessa, see, I screwed it up already, Art. The Odessa Civic Engagement Project. I write it down and I still don't get it. On the radio I butchered it too. But anyway, Art, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what this is, the Odessa Civic Engagement Project.
What we're doing is we're coordinating some sessions for the community to learn about their city and county governments, get an opportunity for them to come in, meet their public officials and public servants, and find out what they do for our city and county, and also have an opportunity to ask them questions and kind of open the door for people to come and be more wanting to participate in local and county government.
Now you're a young guy, Art, like me. You're pretty young, but how did you get involved in the political process? I know you ran for mayor, but,
yes, sir.
And you probably will again, I suppose, but we won't get into that. But you're a young guy. How'd you get involved?
Well, you know, growing up as a youngster, you know, I was always around politics. My father was involved in politics. But when I first decided to run last year for mayor, the whole thing is that I saw so many positions that were running uncontested.
Yeah.
And I just really believe there should always be two candidates, and you should have a choice. So that's how I originally got into running for mayor. So I jumped into it last minute. There was no political platform. Just jumped into it. There should be a choice. The platform came later. Of course, it was too late. But that's how I kind of got involved, because what I found out after the election was that there is a lot of apathy, complacency, or that they're just okay with nothing. So, you know, the voter turnout was really low. There was probably a total of 4,000 votes total cast for the municipal elections. But then when you go a little bit further in 2008 in the November elections, you know, there was only about 30 to 35,000 votes, and you have close to 70,000 registered voters. So something said, okay, something's going on, because we're not getting a lot of involvement from the community. What is it? What can I do as a citizen, you know, to help encourage people to become more involved? Is it because they don't know their officials? Is it something that we can educate the community on? So then that's when we started coming up with the ideas of maybe a civic participation, civic training, to get people involved and get to know their leaders and what they do. So
what you're doing is having meetings, and the officials, county officials, obviously the city officials get together and just get up and say, hi, I am you know, a city councilman, here's what I do.
This is what I do. And then the participants get an opportunity to ask them questions that might be on their mind.
Okay, so Art, when's the next meeting?
The next one's going to be, now we're working on the ECISD governance. We're hoping that'll be probably on the 18th and 19th of November. Then we're going to turn back around in January. We'll have the city training again, and then in February we'll have the county training again.
Tell you what, that school board stuff is very, very important. I mean, school districts like to have bond issues, it seems. And a lot of people say, well, politics doesn't affect me. Oh, it does. It affects us all every day. Bond issues, and school board is a thankless job, in my opinion.
That's right.
But anyway, but to get together with these people and the citizens, that's such a great idea.
We see it as public awareness. We want to bring the citizens to a forum, to an environment where they feel comfortable with, to openly ask questions to officials who actually who work for them.
Art, I know you do have a website too, so
yes.
Here we go. Now this website's going to be real complicated, right? A real complicated website, but Art's going to give that to you.
The website is unida.org, and that's UNAVOZ. UNIDA.org. It's a Spanish term for a united voice. We see the entire community as being united, and we want to unite the entire community. And I think by doing so, by bringing people together and bringing organizations and people together, we can unite the community to where we can all have one common goal. And
what would you say would be the goal?
The goal is to have total participation. And of course, that's pretty, out there to have everybody participating. But we want every person involved, and it doesn't matter what color you are. We want everybody involved in the process, and there are a lot of people who are still living outside that process right now.
Art, hold the phone. We'll come back here on almost at AM 1070. You can join us on AM 1070 Monday through Friday, but here on Big 2, and we'll come back and talk some more to Art here on the Anderson Analysis. Art Leal is with us on the Anderson Analysis, and Art is heading up the Odessa Civic Engagement Project. It's an opportunity for you to attend meetings locally in Odessa and get to know your elected officials. I think that's a great idea because a lot of people just don't do that for whatever reason. We need to get people, not just young people, but all kinds of people involved in the political process, because if you don't, then you're passing on your responsibilities to somebody else. And no matter what you say, politics involves everybody every day of their life. It may be something fairly small at the city level or whatever, but it does affect everybody.
Yes, it does.
So to get those people involved, again, what do we do?
That's right. Well, we're doing a lot of outreach right now. We do a lot of knocking on doors. We meet a lot of people to try to bring them to these meetings. We've been very successful. The first one that we had with the city had about 14 participants, and our county training that we just finished last night had about 10 participants, 10, 11 participants. Some had to leave early. We're hoping that number will grow. We hope by doing this and letting people know what's out there that number will continue to grow. The classes are free. There's no charge for them. We don't charge them because, sometimes especially during the current economic times, we don't want to put a price on this training that everybody should know. So we're hoping that it'll continue to grow. But we think by getting the word out, talking to people, letting them know how important it is to them and how it affects them in the community, we think that should start to stir some more interest in their community. Art,
is this is, I assume, not a partisan thing, not Democrat, Republican, whatever?
It's totally nonpartisan. Unida is a nonpartisan, non-political organization. The project itself, eventually, we're hoping will spin into a 501c3. The main organization is a 501c4. So everything is done nonpartisan. We don't differentiate. We're all Americans, and we all have a stake. We're all stakeholders in our communities and in our government.
All right, now the next meeting for the Odessa Civic Engagement Project. Tell us again where it's going to be and when, what time, and all that.
November 18th and 19th are the target dates. It's going to be at 5:30. It'll be in the boardroom of ECISD. Now it's still subject to change. We're still trying to get some confirmations from our officials. That'll be the next one in November. Then after that, then we'll be off for the holidays. Then we'll start back up again in January with city again, and in February county.
It's a sad state of affairs, but we have the election, early voting is on right now for the constitutional amendments. There is a municipal election for a city council seat in Midland, but I don't think anything in Odessa. But I have to assume that, it's sad to say, but not many people will show up to vote, I would imagine.
Well, Mitzi Scheibel was one of our presenters on Tuesday, this past Tuesday night, and she said that just for the first day there was a very low turnout so far.
Yeah, we talked to Stuart Doreen at the MRT a couple of days ago, and I think it's been averaging about 100 people a day voting early in Midland. That's a pretty low turnout.
Yeah, and I think, there's not enough information out there. I know that we've tried to put some information out there from the Texas Legislative Council. They have a really good, I won't say booklet or flyer, but that explains the pros and cons of each of the constitutional amendments that are coming up. So we've tried to put that out there so people understand how it affects them. I know for sure that there's at least 2 of those amendments that would probably affect us here immediately locally.
Art, we appreciate you coming on, and good luck with the Odessa Civic Engagement Project. We appreciate you coming by.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. And thanks for joining us. Of course, join us on the radio on AM 1070 KWEL every Monday through Friday. Also on AM 1070, Laura Ingram, Glenn Beck. Now, Glenn Beck is on tomorrow, Sunday, 2 to 5, and Glenn Beck every Monday through Friday, noon to 2. Sean Hannity and Jason Moore. And also, Dory Lynn's on the radio. Be sure and join her along with Mike Savage and just a whole lot more. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We appreciate that. Talk to you on Monday on the radio on AM 1070. God bless. Have a good weekend.